What is going on, guys? We got huge Fubo news. First off, congratulations to all the holders. We are up 16% on Friday and 11% on aftermarket on some really big news. And a couple of news came out for Fubo on Friday, the 16th, and we're going to go over it. But the main news is that they won the preliminary injection against the Giants and they stopped the JV. Now, if you look at the news, very positive, huge run up after it, and pretty much they stopped the joint venture from happening. They didn't stop it forever, but for this year they won't launch the JV, and they won't launch it. Most likely they won't launch 2025, but they can still launch it in 25, 26. They will have to go to court again, and since the stage is lost now, most likely will not happen. But so they killed their biggest threat. They killed the JV from happening and killing all their subscriber growth, and killing them in prices. But the mission's not done yet. If we look at over here, the fight continues. Fubo is still fighting for equal treatments from the media giants and a level playing field, and this is far from over. And all the main thing is that a lot of bad things still happening. For example, they are still forced to pay all the bundles. They still have to pay a lot more than other streaming companies for their content, and it is still gonna. It's not like they're gonna be more profitable. It's not like they're getting better prices for their content yet, and that's what they're still fighting for. So the fight is far from done yet. And if you look at over here, the antitrust lawsuit has not been announced, but they've been dealing with this since February this year. So the fight continues, but this is great news. The stock is up, and the stock could go up a lot more. It could fill that gap at 240. Right now it's at 170, and it has some good resistance at 190. So I think this coming week is going to be a really good week for Fubo, and I think Fubo is going to kill it. But there's still things, and there's other things. That the other news is their Amazon deal. So if you look at also August 16th, Friday, Fubo Sports Networks, Canada's home of Premier League, which is the season is just starting, and a lot of people use Fubo, and I think the subscribers growth is going to start rising because all the sports seasons are just getting started. The NFL, the soccer, and I think subscribers growth is going to grow, and it is up 26% year over year, but it is a little down from the last quarter. And one thing that I noticed that June 15th this year, they actually increased their prices. So we can see this Reddit post calling Fubo thieves when they're not really thieves. They just have to survive. They have to raise their prices to get profitable. They're still not profitable, even though last quarter they did an amazing thing and a huge accomplishment, which was they only burned through 25 million cash compared to the previous quarter of 50 million in cash. And we're going to take a look at the balance sheet because it's still not looking too good for Fubo. It's still diluting shareholders like crazy. The outstanding shares have doubled since 2020. They have over 300 million outstanding shares right now. And we can just right here, how do you, this guy got an annual subscription for 150, and now to renew it, his new price is 279, which is a huge increase. And this guy will not stay and will not pay for the new things. But there's a lot of sports fans. This is a huge niche, and I think the subscribers are going to keep growing irrelevant of this. And if they do actually win the antitrust lawsuit and do get the profit margins better, then they could even put this price a little down and still make more money than they are with these high prices. So I'm still very, very bullish on Fubo. And the other news is, of course, Amazon Prime in Canada. This is Canadian news right here. So Fubo is making it accessible to Prime members across the country. So Fubo Network provides subscribers full access to thrilling live sports and all their bundles, MMA, including 1,000 other events. Soccer is one of the biggest ones. I know my brother, he just called me the other day. He doesn't even know about the Fubo stuff, but he's getting Fubo to watch Arsenal in the Premier League. So Fubo is growing. There's a huge audience, and they're just tapping into the market share right now. They only have 1.4, 1.5 million subscribers on guidance to have 1.6 by full year 2024. And they have a lot more room to grow. And the main thing is, will they grow? If you look at Stock Unlock, they have a 2.3 rating out of 5. And right here it says they only have 14 months left to cash runway. But they showed in the last quarter they only burned through 25 million in cash, so I think they have a lot more. And their valuation, even at this price range, at 170, the stock is still very cheap. It's trading at 0.3 of sales compared to the 5-year average of 11, which is huge. This stock could easily double and go to $2-3, at least $2 the next week. That's what I'm thinking is going to happen. But I believe everybody kind of overreacted. Not overreacted. This still deserves the spike it got, and it still deserves to go to $2. But the lawsuit is not over. They're still gonna keep spending money on the lawsuit for the antitrust lawsuit. The court date is still not relieved, And one thing I really like to point out is right here you can see the share price, which kind of skims away, it goes all the way down, while the institutional ownership is just going up. So institutions are seeing the opportunity in this and are buying up Fubo. And right now, Fubo institutional ownership is around 30%, I believe. You can see right here, 34% is going up. Held by insiders only 4%. And if you look at their cash position and their financials, one thing I really don't like about Fubo is their balance sheet. Why? Because they have 56% of their balance sheet in goodwill and 13% in intangible assets. So they have a lot less real assets, real assets compared to the liabilities. They do have 14% of cash, but that is just not enough. And why do I think that? Is because they're diluting shareholders like crazy. We went over this in the last video as well, but the main thing, I just really wanted to cover this news with the lawsuit. Congrats to all you guys, and congrats to Fubo. They've done an amazing job, not only saving themselves, but saving a lot of other people as well. If we look over here, there was 8 streaming service platforms besides Fubo that actually wrote a letter to the court and to the judges and whatnot for expressing their feel for what's going on with the JV and how that would just destroy the market and remove all competitiveness. That's why they're also launching an anti-competitive suit right now, because of the JV is not going to happen. So that is pretty much it, guys. Those are the main things. I went over Fubo. I did open a good position around 120, 130, and I am in profits. It's a $1.70 right now. So yeah, you guys still, I guess you're just holding your shares. I don't know what's gonna happen. And thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.